Hey guys, Iceman here, and this is my cute little Ice Vixen, Javazan, level 88, and check out her Merc. This is what you guys should try to go for when you're doing a Javazan build if you want to be like Daddy. Don't go with the Insight. I decided to toss the Insight, later on anyway, when I started getting decent gear. Reaper's Toll really helps with the light immunes. He'll just start beating the shit out of them, slow them down, no problem. Obviously, this thing needs to be ethereal, but I didn't find an ethereal yet. This one dropped from Diablo, like yesterday or 2 days ago. A nice Treachery. He was using a non-eth one for a little while, and this eth one just happened to fall. It's obviously not e-bugged, but whatever, it doesn't even matter, because he still does a pretty damn good job, along with Rock Stopper. Only reason I'm using this helm is because it has some decent resist and damage reduction, of course, to keep him at max before his fade sets in from Treachery. And also, I get all my life leech from the Reaper's Toll anyway, or he does. But check this out, here's a good strategy. To find the GG. You go and you murder these guys. Look at this. A potential GG already. Some rare boots. And they're a piece of shit. Hey, but they look cool. But anyway, with the Javazan, it's no problem doing this stuff, and I'll show you my gear in just a second. You kill those guys, and then you go down here and kill Shank, and maybe a couple of the monsters surrounding him. And look at my mana. See my mana? Stays full, no problem. Ooh, a small charm. And I'm not using Insight, as mentioned. I'm using Silk Weaves, alright? The mana per kill boots. So once in a while you come across a light immune like this, like one of the elite guys. But see, look at your Merc, just waste the shit out of him. And look at this, my Fade has already cast. So I got all max resist except for poison when the Fade casts. Of course, they weren't that great before it cast, but once it does, you're good to go, man. But check this out, here's my gear. Titan's Revenge, and I'm going to up these. Ideally, I'd rather up one with higher life leech. And I know they're not ethereal. But Iceman doesn't like ethereal titans. They're a bitch, man. They're overpriced, but that's not why I don't want them, okay? People will pay a decent amount for them, so hold on to them and trade them, is my advices. But what I really don't like about them is how I like throwing javelins like a bat out of hell, whether or not they're high damage or low damage. I just love throwing them like crazy. And if you're fast and efficient, you're going to be doing that no matter what amount of damage you do. Because right now, like when I'm doing the pits, for example, it usually just takes one toss of Javelin to clear the entire damn screen of monsters. So doing a little bit more damage on that single Javelin that hits the one monster isn't going to make much of a difference at all. So that part barely even matters to me. But I run out fast, and then I just run to town and repair, and jump right back into the action. But with ethereal ones, your problem is going to be that you're going to have to sit there and wait for them to rejuvenate. And of course, you could have two pairs of ethereal ones, but that's taking up more space that I'd rather not take up. Because on Switch, instead of another pair of Titans, I prefer to have T-Stroke. Because T-Stroke is godly for poking. Look how fast she swings this. Compared to the Titans now. And obviously you get another negative 15% to poison, or to enemy light resist with T-Strokes. So that's a good way to go. But here's what I've been doing, is I kill the Shank, and I kill the other dude, and then Pindleskin, and then you come up in here, and you just start whacking the shit out of these guys. And the Merc does an alright time surviving half the time. It looks like this one actually has a lot of light immunes right now. That's not always the case. Sometimes you'll have more fire immunes, and when that happens, this character just clears them, no problem, in a very short amount of time. But yeah, right now there's a lot of light immunes. But that's okay, because I still kill them. Now, these Titans aren't even up, like I said, but you gotta up them. Because that physical damage is going to go a long ways. If you have decent attack rating, which you should, and you have a few damage modifiers, which I intend to have as well. But look at that, we wiped them out, man. It only took like a minute. Oh, and a bearded axe. Let's take a look at this guy. Is that Spell Steel, or is it something different? Yeah. Spell Steel. But anyway, they're all dead. And this is a great way to find high runes and things like that. Now, let me show you the rest of my gear. But then the third part of my strategy is this. Alright? I go down into the pits, which is a level 85 area. So you can find anything down there. You can find your Griffin's Eye, which I kind of hope to get one of these days. This is US East Ladder, so get on here if you're not. And hit up the Iceman. A lot of you guys have been hitting me up. In fact, some of you guys have been generous and gave me shit. Yeah, someone just gave me a better Viper Magi for my Sork. She had a plus 20 res one, a piece of shit. And someone gave me a 27 res one. Yeah, so thanks, man, for your help on that. And I got the guy in my friends list, too, as well as several other of you guys. But look at this. We're both have Fade right now. Doesn't that look badass? And I've come to find that Treachery is a freaking fantastic armor for a Javazan. Last letter I had Chains of Honor. But you just don't get those attack speed breakpoints with that. Now I intend also to put a 15 attack speed jewel in my helmet eventually, which should get me past the final breakpoint that I'm going for. So I'll be attacking even faster. And that's going to be godly. But you just got to run down here and find the pits. In fact, usually when I'm doing this, I'll put on Cat's Eye instead of High Lords. I just got the High Lords, and I've been doing this without High Lords up until now, but I just got that High Lords. This is the first game I've played with it on. But I was doing the same stuff without it. But I just figured for doing the council members, you might as well have a bit more res. And you don't got to run that fast either. You're just kind of hanging out up in the fray, slapping the shit out of those guys. But Cat's Eye might be better for pits because there's just a lot more running involved. And you're not dealing with nearly as much elemental damage. But check this out. Laying of Hands. And I know you're not getting the plus javelin skills, but screw that, man. You're going to be doing so much GG damage, it's not even going to matter. Laying of Hands, because you get that... Well, for one, you get a nice fire res. You get a huge boost in fire res, 50. And then you get the 20 attack speed, which you need. And you get the damage to demons, which especially helps out down here in the pits. Because you run into a lot of light immunes. And they're demons. All of them are demons as far as I know in the pits. So you can just keep hurling your javelin at them and it'll just chop them right down. Now you'll see the damage I'm doing, which is going to be even better against single target, obviously, when I'm hurling it, once I up those titans. Look at those little bitches. They don't even stand a chance. That poor little guy. He didn't even get to use his fanaticism aura to even attempt to slay Ice Vixen, Iceman's little fags. But isn't this freaking... Look at how fast and efficient the Lightning Javazan is. It's very fast. And I'm not even going that fast here, man, because I'm making a video as well. But I go even faster when I'm off camera, you know? There's a nice CV. And down in the pits, you're going to find a lot of socketables. So if this was an FCV, obviously you could trade that for like an IST, no problem. But a Gull or even a Vex at this point shouldn't be improbable, really. You could probably get one of those for it if you're willing to wait a little while. So the FCVs go for a good amount. You also find a lot of socketables in here as well as like armors and stuff too. So, but of course, like I said, it's just a level 85 area, so you can find some GG shit down in here. But other than that, I have a Raven Frost, and I was wearing a Nagel Ring, but I decided to switch it out for a minute to have a little bit of Mana Leech with this guy. The Razor Tail, which I like over T-Gods. Every time it passes through and pierces, it emits an entirely new Lightning Fury. So it doubles, triples, quadruples your damage every time it goes through an enemy and hits another. So it just adds up so fast that it's almost no question that it does better than T-Gods in most scenarios. Especially if you're in cows, because you just get hordes of those cows and you can herd them up and use Razor Tail and cows, man. You won't regret it. And then I have a nice Shaco, which I might replace with Griffins, but I need a 15 IAS Jewel in this, and I think that's going to get me past the final breakpoint. Treachery as well. Like I said, the faster attack speed you get from it, as well as the fade, is awesome. In Storm Shield, and I decided to put in a little piece of shit light facet. I actually traded a Doll rune and an Io rune for this thing, for this facet. So the 5 ones go for a hell of a lot more. But this thing was nearly free, you know? I mean, I have so many of those runes that just seem to be useless. The Dolls and Ios that I almost don't even pick them up anymore. But yeah, hit up the pits, man, with your Javas on. And see, then when you do this run, you can just make a new game if you want. Where the hell is level 2? But you can just make a new game if you want, man, and just do the same thing. And you're going to get good results if you're consistent. Especially if you have decent Magic Find. Now, I don't have that great of Magic Find. I have a Geeds, and I have the Shaco, of course. And I did have Nagalon for a minute. But other than that, I just have a few small charms that have it. So I have, like, maybe close to 150. It's probably around 130, though, or so. But with a few more charms, you could definitely get that up a little bit more. So, yeah, you're gonna see good results if you run the pits. And I haven't run them too much this ladder just yet, but I've heard some epic finds from down in the pits, man. You know, people find the most GG stuff down here. And what's great about it, see, look at that guy, just wasted the shit out of that guy. Was he even light immune? I almost don't even know, because this one just whips through those light immunes no problem. And then when I switch, I have the T-Stroke and the Lidless. And sometimes in Chaos, when there's a couple players, and it's just taking a few more tosses to kill the enemies, I'll switch over to T-Stroke. See, like right now I'm using T-Stroke. And it does more damage, obviously. A hell of a lot more with that negative percentage to lightning res. Just to compare that, though, if you get a Griffin's, you're going to have some GG damage with that, man. Especially if you switch over to T-Strokes once in a while. Things are just going to die around you. You almost won't even have to throw your damn Javelin. They're going to know you're just so powerful that they're just going to die. And it's going to be epic. But take the Iceman's word for this stuff and give it a try yourself. Yeah, once you can start slaying the Council, no problem. You'll begin to see how rewarding it is. And how, in a lot of ways, this might be a better way to go than a Sorceress. You're a hell of a lot less squishy. Especially when you're using Storm Shield and Treachery. And it's fast as hell, too. And you can wipe out the entire screen with a toss of a Javelin. It's epic. And you're a great boss killer as well. I mean, try to kill Diablo with this character, or Mephisto. You'll chop them down with ease, man. One of the best boss killers in the game, it seems to be. One of the fastest. But let me know in the comments your thoughts on these matters. And like this video if you will. I appreciate you guys subbing and liking the video. My channel's been growing. I almost have 700 subs. I haven't been working on it long at all, so I appreciate it. And spread the word that the Iceman is taking over the realms of Tristram and beyond. Peace be with you.